Welcome back.
How's it going?
This is a slight departure for us since we've had a considerable break in between playing the game and reviewing the game.
Yes.
Which has, oddly enough, affected my score.
Has it?
It has. See, at first I gave it a decent score.
Better or worse? Yeah, better or worse.
And then I gave it a better score because I felt like it deserved it. And then I realized I was just being a Silent Hill fanboy and I gave it back the score it needed.
You would be a Silent Hill fanboy.
Oh, okay.
You just would be.
So, let's get right down to the nitty-gritty.
Okay, let's do this.
Now, if you've never seen us before, we review things on a weird system because we tend to do a lot of horror games. So we do a system that runs off of horror games.
You made it up. It wasn't my idea.
Well, would you like to use a different system? You have some input.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so we rate things on about 7 criterias. 5 good, 2 bad. And 10 should never happen. 5 is average. Remember, 5 is average.
Yes. It's like Angry Joe.
What about Angry Joe?
His 5 is average.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now I understand where you got...
Where I got what?
Your rating thing.
Well, no, 5 is average.
Most places 5 is kind of shite.
Well, 5 isn't good.
Okay, anyway. So
first criteria is atmosphere. How did you feel that Silent Hill rated on atmosphere?
What did I give it?
You gave it to that number.
I don't know. The 13-year-old me couldn't play this game because it was scary. The 27-year-old me,
yes,
still thought the atmosphere was pretty good, but there were other reasons why I probably wouldn't be able to play this game.
The controls?
Yes.
Okay.
So I thought it was really good. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
It did a good job, and
well above average
for a PlayStation 1 game. Pretty good. Pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good for a PS1 game.
Definitely.
Stretch that system to its limits.
Yeah.
Now, I honestly seemed a little blasé about the atmosphere while we were playing it, but remember that I have to go through and watch everything again, and it really starts to sink in, and I started to appreciate, the corpses hanging from the, the quote unquote corpses hanging from the wall. We don't know what's in the crap that's hanging on the wall. But just the general look, feel, and the way you're in the other world, the way you're not in the other world, it's balanced. It works well. I gave it a 9.
See, I gave myself some room because I know the next game in the series.
Oh, okay.
Is a lot better. So I mean, you don't. You don't have much. I understand. You should do it.
You're rating this game on this game's merits. You're not rating this game based on how much better the next game was.
I believe you kind of can, just because it's the same series, same creators. Anyway,
up until 5.
Well, yeah, fuck those games.
What? 5 wasn't horrible. It just wasn't great.
Yeah. Anyway,
maybe not even good.
Moving on.
Okay, creativity. What has this game done that had never been done before? Has never been done before? How did it present itself in a new and interesting way?
Well, considering that the survival horror genre started with Resident Evil.
Yeah, that was 1997-ish?
6 or 7, yeah. And then RE2 came out in like 98.
Yeah. And I'm sure there was a Dino Crisis in there somewhere.
Possibly, yeah. I didn't think it did as well. I guess from a gameplay standpoint. I don't know.
It felt like same old. We've seen this in Resident Evil before.
It's just a little more, yeah, pretty much. And yeah. So I gave it a 6, a little bit above average because it's already been done before. It is a bit different, obviously. You could say it's going for the more psychological, type stuff, but I lost my train of thought.
You lost your train of thought. You derailed your train of thought.
I derailed my train of thought. Let's just move on to you then.
Huh? I don't want to talk about nothing. We're talking about you. You're talking. This ain't about me.
Yeah,
about sound.
I don't know. I just thought that.
You just thought that?
I just thought.
You just thought. Okay. And I thought considerably better about the game in those regards, and I gave it an 8.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
See? Look, it's right here on this piece of paper. Can you hear the piece of paper?
Yeah.
It's a piece of paper. Moving on. Gameplay. This is where you would...
I was going to give it less than that.
You were going to give it less than that?
I really was. I have no idea why they ever... Resident Evil, Dinosaur, or whatever, all these games thought that tank controls would ever help their case.
See, and I know why. It's because the technical limitations of the game forced you to have a handicap in order for the enemies to be scary, for you to have a reason to not be able to just wade through them. It's to give you, the player, a handicap.
But I think that's flawed, because...
It's flawed. That's why they moved away from it once they were able to.
I think they still could have been scary and thought-provoking and creepy without... I mean, honestly, if you're playing this game on normal, or is there easy even?
I believe there's an easy, yes.
You have so much ammo anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't really...
But we did spend more time running than shooting.
Yeah. I just,
which is a good idea, which is a good experience in a survival horror game.
I just don't know if I buy, if that's the actual excuse creators give for why they did those types of controls back then.
It makes sense to me.
That I would have to say, no, I don't.
I'm just saying, if you take Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil, just fresh out of the box, 1996, whatever.
I think it was 96 actually.
And give it the controls to, let's say, Devil May Cry or Onimusha.
Well, no, I'm talking like perfect example. The next game we're gonna do, Parasite Eve. That had normal controls, and I think Parasite Eve 2 did.
It had really slow ass running controls, and you turn-based your entire combat.
Not 2.
Well, not 2, no, but 2 had the damn tank controls.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure we'll get to it eventually, so we'll find out if I'm lying. Anyway, you gave gameplay a 5.
Yes.
Solid average.
Average.
It works. It's not broken.
It's all we had.
You go forward to go forward.
That we had to put up with it.
Now, see, I gave it a slightly higher score to 6 because it gave you so many more options than, say, a comparative game in another franchise, like, say, Resident Evil. It gave you the options to run sideways. It gave you the options to strafe. It gave you the options to hop back quickly to dodge those little... I did get it on the emulated version.
Yeah, but see, they give you all these extra options of how to hop back, dodge, strafe, whatever. What was the point of having tank controls in the first place?
But it still keeps your relative perspective. It helps. It gives you more control. Yes, they were flawed in choosing that control option. That's why.
What else?
In the next game, they have the option for both.
And obviously, control isn't gameplay. Control isn't the only thing about gameplay, though. I mean,
well, true, yes.
Menu systems.
The menu system. I'll downgrade it for the menu system just because it makes my video cut out every time I enter the menu.
Yeah, I thought it was average because, like I said, games have obviously just the other stuff, creativity and whatnot. Games, a couple of games have already done what this game did.
The puzzles are very localized. It's very.
This game just was moody. It was like you on.
Oh, okay.
Any random day. No.
Okay. Moving on.
I took the glove off. Okay.
Storytelling. This is probably where the first Silent Hill suffers the most.
Yeah, I would say it did. The horrible voice acting didn't help either.
The horrible voice acting, the plot just kind of unravels without you, kind of. It's
like you arrive late to everything.
Yeah, you're late to everything. You have no impact on the story whatsoever. It's all about Cheryl. It's all about Alessa.
Where's my daughter?
Where's my daughter? She went this way. Where's my daughter? She went this way. Where's my daughter? I don't know. I'm going to take my gun and leave and not show up for an hour.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I get that.
Okay.
I get that.
You understand?
Yes. That, and I don't... What was it? It was storytelling. And it doesn't help that subsequent Silent Hills were about the person in the town. It was their experience and the stuff it fed off of them. He's an outsider just kind of looking in and getting caught up in it.
Harry ran into a world that was run by Alessa. Everybody else encountered a world that was run by them.
Yes.
They were the center of the story for obvious reasons.
Exactamundo.
Yes, it's your story.
Yes. This was not his story. What did I give it?
You gave it a 5. Just middle of the road.
Yeah, I don't really see what all the fuss was. I don't think there's really a fuss about this series till 2.
Probably not. It's a perfectly fine game, honestly.
No, it set the stage and it built the groundwork for the town.
Yeah.
Which is... I don't know. I would like to see them, now that we have the new systems out...
You want a good Silent Hill 9. You want Hideo Kojima.
I am tired of locked doors.
Okay.
I want to be able to go through someone's underwear drawer in their house. I don't care.
You just want to do that anyway.
That too. But
go through that door.
Female, not
go
you.
Through that door.
God, no, not you. But I want to go in every building. I want to explore everything.
Yes.
Even if it's mundane.
Okay, but if you want a sandbox game, then you don't want a horror game. You want Dead Rising, where it's comical and everything just kind of happens.
Silent Hill is a game about locked doors that you can't go in and red marks on a map.
Yeah.
But
you have to take into account the atmosphere and the theming.
I get that, but I think it would be...
If you can go anywhere, explore anything, and have a giant crafting system to make anything, you have fucking Dead Rising.
No. I'm not saying I want a crafting system. I don't want any of that. I just want to be able to explore a town. A desolate, foggy town.
So play Downpour.
And I want to be able to go in an apartment building, anything.
So play Downpour.
And I want shit to happen. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
So play Downpour.
No, anyway.
Shit.
What was that? Storytelling?
You gave storytelling a 5, I gave storytelling a 5. Moving on to balance.
This has always been a tricky one for me.
Tricky one for you? You never understood it?
Never really understood it.
Never really understood the difference between it and gameplay?
Yes.
We could modify the...
We might have to.
We might have to at some point. The way I interpret balance is it's based on the difficulty curve of the game. How does the game account for you becoming better as a player?
There are 2 parts in this game.
Uh-huh.
Throw that fucking shit out the water.
Okay.
The Sybil fight, if you don't have...
But, okay, yeah.
And the last boss. That shit is ridiculous.
There's massive difficulty spikes at those 2 fights, yes.
Not even... Okay, the Sybil fight, yes. The last boss fight in this game, it's more like... It's just... I think they couldn't do what they wanted to with it, so it ended up being a broken pile of dog crap.
Well, see, the thing with that is, the ending that everybody else is going to get first, the ending that anybody playing that game for the first time is going to get first, is going to have an easier boss fight.
Why?
Because when you... Okay, there's 2 final bosses in the game. Alessa and Samael.
Okay.
That's his name, right?
Sure. Sam.
So Alessa is the boss that you fight on the bad and the bad plus endings. Which odds are the ones you're going to get. Because first time through, you're not going to think to put that crap from the floor in the water bottle and throw it at Sybil. You're not going to notice... the bar, you're just going to go straight for what you were trying to do. You're trying to find Cheryl. You're probably not going to do the Kaufman side quest, at least not to its completion. You're probably not going to save Sybil.
Okay.
You're going to have an easier boss fight, because Alessa is an easier boss fight.
What is she like?
It's the same boss fight with less health.
Oh. But that's the problem. The mechanics of that fight.
What, the lightning?
The lightning and...
The lightning?
You don't even see him the whole fight, pretty much.
You can.
You can if you want to die. That's the problem. So I think...
Well, then why did you rate balance so highly if there were such massive and awkward difficulty spikes in it?
It's because the sum of all its parts...
And not just those 2 things?
Not just those. The Sybil fight is actually hard, and it's not really... It's not so much that it's hard, it's just she has a gun.
Yeah,
she's shooting at you.
You dodge. She runs out of bullets, and then you just shoot her.
You can take like 2 hits.
Yeah, you can take 2 hits, and she can take 40.
Exactly. So I mean, it's tough, but it's not like And it's pretty cool because it's on a carousel.
Yeah.
And it's creepy.
We'll get back to that eventually.
Yeah, I know, right? So that's why I gave it a 7.
You gave it a 7.
Other than that last fight, and to a lesser extent the fight right before, pretty much.
I gave it a 7 as well because on the whole, the game starts out with you being able to fight off dogs with a pipe, right? And then it progresses to you being able to fight off things with a pistol. And then it progresses to you being able to fight off things with a hammer. But there's a certain point where it gradually gets more and more convenient to run, especially from those monkey things, especially from the when you've got packs of dogs, when you've got air screamers just diving down at you.
Okay, I mean,
it's a nice gradual shift from I can take them to oh god, I'm going to die.
Yeah. Do you think that has some type of correlation with the jig's almost up for Alessa at the end?
Oh.
So she's kind of, I don't know.
So balance 7 and 7.
Yes.
We've got our 2 flaws, which are completely irrelevant to this game because we didn't award them any points in them. But they would have provided a negative score had we. Lack of replay. This game has modal difficulty, right?
Yes.
It's got easy, normal, hard, I believe. And then it's got New Game Plus. Next Fear, I think it's called. But unlockable items with the rock drill, the gas can, the chainsaw, the hyper blaster, which if you take a Konami light gun, like for Time Crisis, and just plug it into your PlayStation, you just get the hyper blaster.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Like, hey, thanks for buying our shit.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the dance pad in Growlancer.
No, yeah, jeez. But yeah, like.
But a hidden fifth ending, which is like the rest of the series with the channeling stone and the aliens and whatnot.
Honestly, unless you're like a really big fan of this series, you'll probably play through it once, maybe twice.
And it also has a rating system which affects the power of your hyper blaster. So the better you do in the game, the stronger weapon you get for the next time you play, so that you can try and 10-star it.
I was just thinking.
But if you use the hyper blaster, your score gets reduced.
The laser gun or whatever from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
It just destroys everything on screen.
I think they buffed it for one of the versions. I think the
PS2.
No, I think they buffed it for the Wii version.
Oh, okay.
I think it wasn't that great in the PS2 version, was it?
No, we played on your GameCube though, didn't we? No.
Well, I bought the GameCube version, and then I bought it again for the Xbox.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think the Xbox is running off the Wii version.
Okay, yeah. We're getting off topic.
We're getting off topic. Replay lack. I gave it a 0.
I gave it a 0 because
it affects the score in no way.
There's a lot of extra stuff you can do with it. Not that most people would want to.
Oh, and the opening cutscene changes depending on which ending you got last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Cheap scares. There was one literal cat scare. That's it. There was no ooga booga boogas. This game got into your head like it was supposed to, subtly. You disagree? You're kind of...
Only because I've watched you play through it over the years more than a few times.
Okay.
And I thought I just felt myself frustrated when you got killed by the stupid children falling on you.
That happened once. We only died once up until the final boss.
Yeah. Oh god.
And then I was doing so well that first try.
I know, right? So yeah.
I gave it a 0. Affected the score not at all.
I gave it a 0 because it wasn't really all that scary.
Oh, okay, yeah. When 13-year-old you says otherwise.
Oh, well, that was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And now I just couldn't be bothered.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So anyway, we have tallied
the score. Jed, you gave this game
a 6.2.
And I gave this game a 7.0, down from a 7.8 from the intervening score changes.
I left a lot of room for 2.
You left a lot of room for 2. Oh, okay. You're rating this game on this game's merits.
Yes. Yeah.
You're not rating this game based on how much worse it was than 2, even though it was a good game.
It was a good game, but 2 was a lot better.
Well, yeah, why don't you just let your scores honestly reflect that?
They will.
Oh, okay.
They will.
Okay.
Anyway, that's our take on Silent Hill. Great game. Set the stage. Built the town. Built the foundation.
Founded the mythos
for what would become the 2 better games in the series. And then we haven't played
what? Homecoming and Shattered Memories?
No, 2 and 3.
The 2 better games in the series?
2 and 3. And
I have no problem with Shattered Memories.
That was actually really cool.
That was really cool.
That game.
We will. Okay. Eventually.
But yeah. It set the stage. It was over.
You're repeating yourself.
It was good. It was good.
Alright. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time when we're doing... Are you sure it's Parasite Eve?
No. Probably.
He's not sure it's Parasite Eve. We'll see you next time with Shadow Hearts.
Yes. Good night.
It's Parasite Eve.